Hi. Today I want to explain about a new feature developed by Microsoft. It's NLWeb. It's a natural language interfaces for websites, meaning it's a natural language web. So basically, we using the NLWeb, we can create conversational chatbots or implementing AI features in the website. So basically, it uses the LLM vector database and especially Azure AI search. So it works with schema.org, JSON, and other feeds, other types. So if we inject the data in the RSS format, so it there are vector database and retrieval options in the NLWeb. Let me open the GitHub. So this is the NLWeb GitHub. So for now, they are supporting a lot of vector stores, vector database, and there are more to come. So the one important point regarding the NLWeb is when once we deploy a NLWeb for an instance or particular set of websites, it can be act as a MCP server. So it serves data. So that's a very powerful feature since there are a lot of enhancement and lot of new things has been developed in the MCP features. So that's so this is how the NLWeb works internally. So it starts with a customer query. Then in the step two, it's a simultaneous process. It runs parallelly. The NLWeb sends the query to LLM for pre-processing, as well as the query goes to the NLWeb vector database. So the in the NLWeb LLM pre-processing, it checks the relevancy, past history, memory, and context. So in the vector DB, it quickly get the result without waiting. So if there is no not much accuracy, it reprocess these steps. Then it ranks the result coming from vector database, and the data goes back to the LLM to rank the result, and the LLM explains why the result is relevant. So finally, the top ranked results are returned to the customer. So it's a basically a refined model of RAG and agentic development. So what I have deployed this NLWeb in my local. So I wanted to explain how a new index can be created in the Azure AI search and how and running the applications in the front end. So let's start with so this is the GitHub repo of NLWeb. So this is the copy of environmental file. So first of all, I am using the OpenAI configuration. So for the LLM, I am using OpenAI. This here you have to add the key, and to store the data, I'm using the Azure AI Search Vector Database. And there is step by step instructions in the NLWeb GitHub. And I just want to say the three important configuration file. So this is where we configure and change the settings for LLM. And by default, it uses a text embedding smaller model. We can change it to any other model, and we may have to change the dimensions value as well. So retrieval. So here we can configure the vector database vector database. Like I said, there are a lot of vector database. For now, I'm going to use Azure AI search. So now let's go to Azure AI search portal. So this is the Azure AI search portal. I have few existing AI search and a few indexes. So I'm going to create a new index here. So let's start creating our own index. So I'm going to give an NLWeb index, and by default ID field has been created. So I'm going to create a new field called content, and this should be as a retrievable. I'm using the type string, and another field embedding, and we have to select the EDM dot single collection. So yeah, here it is. It also retrievable. So we have to create a vector search profile in order to include the embeddings field. So here I yeah okay. So I have created a vector in a vector algorithm profile and created this embedding field. Now I'm going to select the site, and it can be retrievable and face table. Okay, I'm going to save. So I'm going to click the create button. So the new NLWeb, sorry, the new NLWeb index has been created. There was an error because of index limit exceeded. So I just fixed that. So this is the new index. Now let's go back to the env file for the configuration. So in the config file, let me open the three important config LLM. So I gave the preferred endpoint as OpenAI, and I initialized the OpenAI key in the .env file. Now let's click the embeddings. So I'm not going to change anything in that. So by default, it uses the OpenAI. I will leave it as it is, and I'm going to click the config retrieval. So here it is. So I'm going to use Azure AI search, and as you can see, all other retrievals are disabled, enabled equal to false. But here I have configured and enabled the Azure AI search index. Here we have to change the NLWeb index name. So that's it. So this part is completed. I'm going to test the connectivity like this, check underscore connectivity. So here I hope that yeah, there is an error here. So I'll tell you how to debug this. So the error explanation is it expecting a field name called URL from the AI search index. So what we have to do is we have to create a URL field, and the type is string. So let's go back to the indexing, and we can edit the fields. We cannot edit the field, but we can add new field. So I'm going to click the URL, and it is a string and it's a retrievable. So I'm going to click save and save. So now let me rerun this. Still there is an error. So it also expecting a property, name field. So let's create the name field too. So it's also saved. Let's go back to the, yeah, let's rerun this. Okay, so there is a new field schema JSON. Yeah, let's create the schema JSON. Okay, it's saved. Let's hope it works now. So now after validating, so we can ignore this here because there is no data in the index. So we are going to inject one now. So now let's search for the RSS URL. So we have tested. Let's index the data from the RSS feed. So I took an example RSS feed here from un.org. So this is the field I got. So I this is the RSS field of human stories. I think it has top stories. Let me copy this and so this is the command to include the data into the database. So let me change the type. So this is the RSS URL is the first parameter and site name is the second parameter. So now I'm going to press the enter. So it feed the data into the AI search and the embeddings will be stored in the AI search database. Let me open. Yeah. So yeah, now you can see there are the 30 documents are indexed in the NLWeb index database. So now let's go back to the VS Code and run the and this is the front end. This is the server which runs the front end. Excuse me. Yeah, now you can see the server is running in the 8000 port. Let me go and run the website. So here it is. Let's ask about yeah. So let's ask a specific question. Uh, so yeah, let's ask about worker stress. Yeah, here it is. And there is a option to generate or to summarize. So it summarizes the result based on the info. Yeah, this is the summarization. And let's click the generate. Let's ask about what news you got. Yeah, there is no relevant information here. Let's ask about security concern. Yeah, because it's uses the previous memory and trying to find the relevant. Let me create any what. Yeah, so here it is. So basically, NLWeb provides all the required libraries to create a perfect chatbot or an advanced query tool using the website data and it uses the RSS, JSON, CSV types to as a data. Azure AI Search Index is very powerful database. So after seeing the samples from NLWeb, so I thought if we can utilize the Azure AI Search. So I hope this video will be useful if you are going to use the Azure AI Search. And please let me know if any questions. Thank you.